Hello, and welcome to the Rest, Repair, Recover podcast. I'm Susie Bolt. This is a space for anyone who's navigating chronic illness. We are here to share real stories, helpful insights, and honest conversations about what it really takes to help yourself heal a tiny bit every day. So whether you're in bed listening, you're on a gentle walk, or you're just needing some company as you go about your day, I'm so glad that you're here.
Have you ever wondered if you're actually doing the right thing with your supplements? Are you taking them at the right time of the day? Are you getting the best possible use out of them? Are you combining them with the right foods? Are you taking them at night rather than in the morning? Does it ever confuse you? Because it's definitely confused me. So I am here today talking with Kevin Leivers from The Naked Pharmacy to learn a little bit more about the right way to take the supplements that we've paid our money for so that they have the best chance of doing their job. So Kevin, what are the kind of common, if we can think about just kind of common supplements, are we taking them the right way generally in society, or what are the pointers we should be thinking about?
I think there's a couple of things. The first is that continuity. So making sure that you're taking them every day, ideally at the same time of the day.
Okay.
So there's consistency.
Yeah.
And the reason for that is that if you miss a day or two, then that interrupts your kind of healing process.
Right.
Or your health process. So ideally get them into your routine so that you don't step out of the routine and then suddenly, you've missed 2 or 3 days and then you've lost that kind of momentum. So momentum's really important.
Yeah, great.
So if, like me, you are very busy during the daytime and then when you come back into all sorts of other stuff that, it's very difficult for you to remember to take your supplements, then take them in one go. It's more important to be taking them regularly than it is actually in terms of the time of the day.
Okay.
Ideally, you should be taking them with food because most of the time having a bit of healthy fat,
okay.
Not sugar.
Not sugar, not with the cake, guys.
Protein and other elements of a balanced diet, green leafy vegetables, whatever, will help that digestion process. It will help to distribute the actives amongst your food, and obviously from a digestion point of view, when it's getting into the small intestine and the large intestine, then it's able to mix better with all the bacteria, all the enzymes, and the cell wall. And the more you're doing that, the better the absorption will be, because it's the interaction of those bioactives in the supplements, the active components, with those elements of the biome that makes the difference in terms of effectiveness.
Yeah.
So if you're morning sometimes, then noon, and then the afternoon, your body actually gets used to, just like it gets used to the time of day that you eat and drink.
Okay.
You can sort of pre-program your body to expect it to arrive. So effectively, it's being more effective at the way it processes it. So with food, same time of the day, consistent approach. Really, really important. The form in which you're taking your supplements is really important as well. So that you're aware what you're ingesting. So if it's a powder, make sure, as we said before, that it's not full of sugar fillers, maltodextrins, and all that sort of stuff, because that's going to have a negative impact on the absorption process. So if you can mix it with food, I'm a big advocate, if you've got your powders or whatever it is, to mix it with something that's in your routine. It can mix it with a coffee. If you want to do that in the morning, I do that a lot.
Just a regular cup of coffee?
Yeah.
Tip it in?
Yeah, I mix mine with milk. Some people don't like normal milk. And then mix it with a coffee, and that's perfectly fine.
Yeah.
Integrating it in. If you want to have a shake, equally same process.
Great.
If it's a liquid, so if your supplement is a liquid form, and there are plenty of different forms, that you may have to be a little bit more cautious with that, because sometimes those liquids might contain alcohol.
Okay.
Sometimes those liquids might contain other stuff, because when you've got liquid, then you have to preserve it because it can go off. So just be careful what else is in that. So that's the reason why most of our, if not all of our supplements are solid dosage form.
Yeah.
And the second reason is that we use capsules rather than tablets. And the reason we use capsules is, first of all, we can get tapioca, the capsule shell.
Right. So it's nice and natural.
Nice and natural,
yeah.
and it has a role to play in the nutrition. If it's a tablet, to make a tablet, you need a filler, you need a binder, you need a flow agent.
To make that solid shape.
Make that solid shape and make
Gotcha.
sure it holds together, make sure it disintegrates at the right time. So generally we avoid tablets because of that reason. All of those components will be artificial. Magnesium stearate is an artificial binder. So you look at your tablets and there's one high street brand, I won't mention health brand, but most of their supplements are in tablet form.
Yeah.
And so that's a big flag for me.
Yeah.
Go into the ingredients of the supplement.
Right.
So, and make sure, because magnesium stearate, they tend to have to put 400 milligrams in. That's a lot. So if you think most capsules and tablets are between, 400 and 1,000 milligrams, depending on the size. So, 400 milligrams of your supplement is magnesium stearate, then that's a lot of magnesium stearate that you're taking on a daily basis. That's synthetic. It's not natural.
Yeah.
So that's the key. So same time of the day, consistent approach with food, ideally.
Yeah.
If you're taking it for a specific problem like magnesium for twitchy muscles or restless legs at night, obviously you take that at night specifically for that symptom.
You want to load up for when you need it.
And stuff. So that's different.
Okay.
So there are things that you're taking regularly. If there's something that you're treating, like a sleep problem, restless legs, then by all means take it. And in that case, you may not want to take it with food. Take it on an empty stomach.
Okay. The body will be happy with that because it's very easy.
It's generally well tolerated, which again is why we use a natural source.
Yes.
For the magnesium, because it's better tolerated. People talk about stomach upset with magnesiums, and that generally happens with synthetic forms of magnesium. The body does not like synthetics as much as it likes the natural, because it recognises it, and there's all these micronutrients wrapped around the natural. So the magnesium from seawater has micronutrients.
Right.
And so why wouldn't it?
Why
right?
And why wouldn't our bodies go, okay, we're quite happy with that?
So the vitamin C from amla fruit, for instance, there's lots of sort of peripheral components. It's almost like it softens the approach. It's quite a harsh, blunt approach with a synthetic.
Yeah.
There's nothing else in it. There's no soft edges, if that's the right way of putting it. It's a kind of a visual way I see it.
Yeah.
And then it boils down to, is your supplement safe?
Right.
Is your supplement effective?
Yeah.
And so
that circle of questions. Yeah. Right. Yeah. Exactly. What else is in it?
Yeah.
So let me ask quite specifically about iron, because quite a lot of people are experimenting with iron just to kind of make sure that their energy levels are kind of not deficient there.
Yeah.
Is there a good way to take it? Because I know over the years I've been told taking it in a liquid form is going to be better for you. Some people are prescribed tablets by their doctors, but then the knock-on effect of that is often constipation and things. Is there a good way to get iron in without there being this kind of complex relationship with the impact of it on the body?
I think iron's a bit tricky.
Okay.
And there's a couple of reasons why. I think partly because a lot of it, again, is synthetic.
Right.
So the blunt approach is a bit of a shock to the system. And secondly, iron as an element that's really crucial and often a problem that's overlooked, particularly in women, is a strong, powerful one. So actually trying to sort of soften its edges, if you like, is a bit tricky when most of it is synthetic. So a lot of it's trial and error. The tablet forms got those issues with the fillers again, but it'll be down to trial and error, unfortunately.
Right.
So different salts. When I say a salt, so you always have the iron element to it, and the partner.
Okay.
So you have iron sulfate. So it's a sulfate. It's a salt.
Oh, right.
So we call it salt, even though it's not salt.
Right.
It's the partner element. So they come in pairs.
Okay.
So they're sort of, have a relationship, and they're attracted to each other because one's positive, one's negative.
Great,
right?
okay.
and when it gets into the body, it's a loose relationship because then it kind of parts ways. And
How fickle.
Yeah. So often it's the partner element to the iron that causes the problem. So have a look at, is it ferrous sulfate, fumarate is another one.
Okay.
So and then trial the different salts in different forms. If it's a liquid, then sometimes that helps because it's already dissolved, right?
Right.
So if it's a tablet form, then it has to dissolve, and that can be a little bit tricky. So maybe start the liquid first, and then experiment with the salt element of it. So if ferrous sulfate causes you a upset tummy, try ferrous fumarate or iron fumarate.
Okay.
And I think if you can do that, eventually, hopefully, you will get the right one.
You'll find the right one.
And just to say, we're doing a little bit of research on this in the background, and we should have some solution for it probably in September.
Nice. Yeah. Okay, we'll watch this space for that one, because that's a biggie. And I know, a doctor will prescribe a tablet generally. Yeah, and I know many people then talk about the knock-on effect of that and how it's not great, and then they come off it because they go, my system got completely screwed by it. Yeah. So it's really good to know a little bit more about the choices that we make there. So fantastic. Yeah, great. I'm just trying to think if there's another one. Is there anything else so I'm hearing time of day consistency is really important, ideally with food, if we can, because that helps with the absorption. Is there one more that we can kind of think about here?
If you're on prescribed medication, then please do check with our pharmacist.
Right. Do we take it at the same time or later?
Some can be taken at the same time, but some can interfere. So
great.
That will just need a little bit of support by one of the pharmacists, and we can say, actually, you need to be an hour, 2 hours apart. Or occasionally, if there are some problem prescription meds or one or two of those, then we might say, actually, you can't take these together, so it needs a bit of help.
Great. Yeah. And so actually that's what's brilliant about the Naked Pharmacy. You can call them up and just say, I'm taking these drugs. When should I take this supplement that I have? You don't even need to buy the supplement from them. You can call them and use their advice. And then, of course, why wouldn't you buy their supplements? Because they're super helpful. And we know that they're clean and not synthetic. Which is going to be a really important piece of your decision making, I hope, from here on in. That was very helpful, Kevin. Thank you so much.
Pleasure.
Yeah.
Thank you so much for listening to the Rest, Repair, Recover podcast. If today's episode gave you hope, made you smile, or even just helped you feel a bit less alone, please subscribe wherever you get your podcasts and maybe share it with someone who might need it too. So until next time, take care of yourselves and know that you're not on your own.